I've been getting a couple of requests to talk about The Great Mouse Detective and Oliver and Company, mainly to fill in the missing gap of my look back at Disney animated features that I made back in early to mid-2009. But first, a bit of history. Shortly before The Great Mouse Detective was released, the Walt Disney Company brought in 3 executives who would help massively in reinventing the animated film at Disney. Frank Wells was hired as president after his long tenure at Warner Brothers. Coming in from Paramount was Michael Eisner, who became the company's CEO, a position he held for a very long time. Joining Eisner was Jeffrey Katzenberg, who became Disney's chairman and a major driving force behind the re-emergence of Disney's animation department. When those executives were brought in, the Disney animators had been moved out of the old Hyperion building and placed in trailers on a vacant lot nearby. However, they were already working on a project that helped re-energize the fledgling department. In 1986, The Great Mouse Detective was released to critical acclaim and box office success. This was a fun, energetic adventure that had an excellent mix of mystery, humor, darkness, and a wonderful musical soundtrack by Henry Mancini. It also featured a brilliant vocal performance by legendary horror film actor Vincent Price, who brought the right sense of menace to the evil Professor Ratigan, not to mention early use of computers helping to construct a sequence in a major animated film, with a spectacular Big Ben sequence in the film's climax. However, I find what really elevates it is Basil Baker Street himself, who was shown as a Disney animated character as slightly full of himself, and yet we root for him to save the day anyway. Needless to say, The Great Mouse Detective is a great gem in the Disney library, and one that marked the start of the studio's newest golden age. However, a former employee made the success of that new film a little less exciting. That same year, the unthinkable happened when another studio's animated epic grossed more than that of the Disney studios. Having been impressed by Don Bluth's The Secret of NIMH, Steven Spielberg, a major producer who seemed to acquire the Midas touch during the 1980s, asked him to direct a similar mouse-themed animated film called An American Tail. When this film was released to even higher box office results, Disney realized they need to step up their game even more if they need to keep up with Mr. Spielberg and his new collaborator. In 1988, Don Bluth and Steven Spielberg's The Land Before Time was released on the same day as Disney's newest animated feature, Oliver and Company, a modern-day retelling of Charles Dickens' Oliver Twist set in New York City and featuring a cast of talking animals. Both of these films promise lovable, marketable characters, thrilling excitement, and a story that could appeal to those of all ages. Though critics praised both films, the weekend of November 8th saw The Land Before Time at the top of the box office charts, with Oliver and Company landing only in 4th place. However, as the weeks passed, Disney's newest feature found itself staying more afloat thanks to word of mouth, and by the end of the year, their film had grossed more. Oliver and Company ultimately is a fun little film featuring a well-developed story, likable and funny characters, and some great songs, particularly the incredibly catchy Why Should I Worry, sung by none other than Billy Idol, brought the right amount of smoothness to his canine portrayal of Dodger. The success of Oliver and Company was also helped by Steven Spielberg and Disney's big summer release of 1988, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. That groundbreaking combination of live-action animation was such a big success, commercially and critically, that it led to a whole new interest in animation, particularly those from the Walt Disney Company. The new advent of home video also led to them releasing their classic animated films, thus leading parents to buy up these video cassettes to entertain their children. This led to not only a whole new generation of young Disney fans, but also brought nostalgic memories to older viewers who remembered watching The Jungle Book and Peter Pan on the big screen, thus leading to a resurgence of adult fans as well. Coupled with the trailers for Disney's next animated epic that were showcased on the VHS, and people already looking forward to what the Mouse House was releasing next. And come 1989, both Disney and the audience were going to get something really special. In 1989, Disney released The Little Mermaid, a massive success at the box office, and while Roger Rabbit may have ignited a worldwide interest in Disney animation, it was this film that solidified it. Nonetheless, The Great Mouse Detective and Oliver and Company are 2 underappreciated and important parts of Disney history that deserve a look.